now look, add the stage.
Let's go.
Okay, finally it went. Now we can do it. Luminous. Check. Everything good on the audio?
Check.
Move this out of the way. I like the video. It's a full opportunity to get set up ahead of time.
What's going on, everyone? Davion Huggins, Chief Meteorologist Dan Scoff, Meteorologist Davion Huggins. We don't want to forget that title, do we?
Right.
Man, how you doing, man?
Doing good.
Doing good? You got some practice in front of the wall. You guys are in for a show when he does the weather. Yeah, he is going to be ready to go. So, yeah, we're just teaching him some little intricacies in broadcasting.
Yep.
Different than streaming because you have a little more of a time limit,
Very
right?
different.
Yeah, a little bit more of a time limit. So, yes, if you haven't heard, this is Davion Huggins. He's our newest meteorologist. So there you see the names on the screen. Let's get to it. We can't waste a lot of time because, number one, we still got another newscast to come.
Oh, yeah.
But so far, we've got extra innings for the World Series. Surprise, surprise. It's 11:09. We got a newscast after the World Series is over, at least this game 3. It's been a good game, though.
Yeah,
Back and forth. Yeah, if you're a LA Dodgers fan, you're happy. And if you're a Toronto Blue Jays fan, you're happy because it's tied up 1-1. But the Blue Jays have been going for a little bit of some risky plays, man. They've been gunned out by some players. So, all right, here's the deal. Let's talk about this. Mason saying Melissa should be 185 miles per hour winds, but I don't think they'll update it. So as of now, the hurricane hunters did find surface winds up to 189 miles per hour. I can tell you this, Davion and I, now you know tropical weather, you know tropical systems. This is your area of expertise. This is about as classic as a hurricane gets,
I
man.
mean, just absolute textbook. This, when you look up what a hurricane is supposed to look like, this is what you see.
This is it. And you don't see many satellite representations like this.
Yeah.
We had an interview. If you missed it earlier, it's on my Facebook page with the YouTube link because Facebook didn't seem to want to post the live for some reason. That's a great question. Someone had the question about wind speed and wind gusts. We're going to talk about that. But notice how it looks like Melissa now is starting to curve back to the north, hoping that it would just continue to drift westward. It kind of slammed on the brakes, didn't it?
Yeah, it came to a very quick halt.
Yeah. So what's some of the things that we're looking at with this system? What's some of the impressive features of this textbook tropical beast?
For starters, those shades of white and even pink that you see wrapping all around that eye wall, those are very tall thunderstorms with cold cloud tops. So that tells us that the storms are very strong and they're continuing to be strong as the system starts to make that northeasterly turn towards Jamaica. So honestly, kind of worst case scenario of what we've been seeing.
It kind of really is. There's no doubt about that. And especially considering just how strong this storm is going to be as it makes landfall. And it looks like it's got that warm ocean heat content in the water.
Oh, yeah.
You talked about it. This is the first tropical system south of Jamaica all year, essentially, in that Caribbean.
Yeah.
And what is the importance of that?
So when you have warm waters, they extend down to a depth. And when you have these hurricanes and tropical systems come through, they churn these waters up in a process called upwelling, and that helps them fuel their thunderstorms. Well, when you only have, 0 storms to go through very warm waters, that's just basically untapped energy waiting to be used. And unfortunately, Hurricane Melissa is doing just that. So these warm waters, they have a lot of energy that extend down to a very deep depth, and that's why this hurricane it's just been able to strengthen and maintain itself. And like I said, this is just honestly seems like a worst case scenario for the island of Jamaica.
And speaking of Jamaica, I'm taking a look right now at the radar. Someone asked a comment, why can't there be a radar? There is. The problem is that I think people are blowing up the site. And so the metservice.gov.jm, which is essentially, Jamaica, it's not working right now. And you can get composite radar, but I want to get the actual radar. So if you get this, I'm going to see if I can pull up the actual radar, and we'll bring it up as a stream. But take us through the current tropical track, Davion, as we hit spacebar on that computer. Yeah.
So, yep, here's our current look as of right now. As we see, of course, still a Category 5. Those wind gusts as high as 215 miles per hour. So this is going to cause catastrophic damage. I know, Dan, you had a comment earlier asking the difference between the winds and wind gusts.
Yeah.
So the winds, which is what you see at the top, 175 miles per hour, those are sustained winds of 1 minute, I believe. 1 minute sustained winds of 175 miles per hour. Now, gusts are winds that are very quick, very brief. So with those sustained winds, sometimes they'll shoot up faster than what the sustained winds are. And that's why the gusts are as high as 215 miles per hour. And it's starting that northeasterly turn, and notice that speed is just 2 miles an hour. So this is just crawling at northeast towards Jamaica. And that's why we expect so much rainfall with this system. A slow moving hurricane this strong, you just don't want to see that, especially with their mountains. All that water has to come back into the ocean, and the only way out is back down the slopes. So definitely going to see a lot of flash flooding as well as some landslides as this storm continues to near towards Jamaica.
Now you got to see this. This is that's a good question too. Why hasn't there been eye wall replacement cycles like normal?
I think I asked you that question earlier.
You did, yeah. And honestly, I think it's maybe because it has so much heat content that it can just continue to regenerate that eye wall because additional thunderstorms continue to develop. Typically what happens in an eye wall replacement cycle is those thunderstorms start spiraling in towards the center. It causes the hurricane to not only get stronger, but initially, actually eye wall replacement cycle will weaken the initial wind gusts and make them a little bit weaker.
Oh yeah.
But it also widens the wind swath.
Yeah.
That's how you get multiple eye wall replacement cycles where that starts to go out. Let me take you through the track. So honestly, I think the reason is because of the amount of ocean heat content. So additional thunderstorms can develop, and we just are continuing to get continuous thunderstorm development around the eye that just keeps the eye intact. Now there's landfall around noon tomorrow, so it will be most likely during the daytime.
Oh yeah.
But conditions are definitely going downhill. In fact, I got the radar site. I'll show you here that I got it from Jamaica. It is a 480 kilometer view, so it is a little bit on the wider view. You'll notice here, again, this is going to move across Jamaica pretty slowly. It does pick up forward speed. It won't be as still and as slow as it is now as that upper trough starts to move in. Then you see those rain and storm chances and the hurricane becoming basically category 4 and 3 and 2 as it crosses Cuba. Now, keep in mind, Cuba is some high terrain, and so that's going to definitely rip apart this storm.
Oh, yeah.
The higher the terrain, the more that storm gets kind of torn apart and ripped apart. And then this moves over Turks and Caicos and then moves towards Bermuda. So Bermuda is in the cone of uncertainty again. And one of the things that I don't do on the cone of uncertainty is draw a line. I keep the line out of it, because I don't want people to know this is exactly where it's headed. definitely some issues there. Let's take a look here at weather 2. This is a really impressive visible satellite imagery. And this shows you, look at all the thunderstorms that are popping up around this. Now,
popcorn.
Yeah, GLN, the geostationary lightning mapper, look at the showed a lot of the lightning strikes in the eye. This tells you have some explosive thunderstorms. Also, look at the way the ripples are developing in the upper levels. There's so much energy being released, latent heat release too. Oh, yeah. Not only that, but a really clear eye. This has the eye of similar to a Katrina.
Oh, yeah.
When it was south of New Orleans.
Just a ventilation system.
Yeah.
Of a hurricane.
What we mean by ventilation, what do you mean by that?
So you got winds that actually, it's going to sound kind of counterintuitive, but winds in the upper levels actually spread out away from the center as the storm continues to be healthy. But you also have lower level winds that spiral in, and that's what helped clears out that eye as those thunderstorms continue, as well as those strong winds spiral in. And that's what we mean by a ventilation system. And that's why the eye is so pronounced right now.
And all the quadrants have that as well. So watch this. I'm going to show you here. There's the eye wall. Let me see if I can do something here. Maybe I can bring up, I won't be able to do this on this one. But anyways, there's the eye wall. And this is the stadium effect that hurricane hunters fly through. We've got that too. I'll show you the latest hurricane hunters. But look at all of that explosive thunderstorm development. We're going to zoom out a little more. And that is what you call a central dense overcast.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is about as most powerful as it gets with a hurricane. It's not the lowest pressure ever, though. That was Wilma. And that was, what was it, 882? Is that what you said it was?
I think so.
It was down in the lower 880s.
882, I believe.
Yep. So Wilma was a very, very powerful storm back in the mid 2005. Was it 2005? Yeah, 2005.
That's another thing. This season
has been quiet.
It's been quiet. But with that being said, we've had 3 Cat 5s now.
And it only takes one storm to really cause an issue.
Yeah, definitely.
But there is the view, and we're going to zoom out even more. And there's the visible satellite. Now, keep in mind, this is during the daytime. Obviously, because when it's at night, you can't look at visible satellite because it goes away. But here's what I do want to show you. I'm going to bring this up, and we're going to take a look at the radar imagery. A lot of people asking about radar and wanting to see the radar imagery. So let's see here. If I bring this up, there's the radar imagery. You know, it's about as good as Jamaica could get. Now, there is an app to get this. There's better data that's around, but let me go ahead and zoom in on this a little bit so you can see. You can see that's the 480 kilometers. So we got to zoom out quite a ways. Jamaica is basically disappearing because the radar is on top of the land. So they don't have the land going over, but there you get to see it right there with Jamaica is basically starting to get some of the heavier rain bands, and the eye is still quite a ways offshore. Let's see if this mapping, for some reason, they didn't think to put the mapping on top of the radar. That's one of the things you got to do on GIS. There's a good question. Is this larger than Katrina was? I don't believe so.
I don't believe so. Yeah, no. Katrina was very large.
Yeah. Now we can take a look at the. Let's take a look at the wind path here. I'm going to go on this computer. We're going to take a look at the NHC, National Hurricane Center. By the way, at the very end of this loop, I'm going to go forward. You can see the eye. There's the eye on the southwestern side of the island here. Approaching very, very, very slow, but it is definitely moving more northeast. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to zoom out just a little bit. We're going to reset to 100%. I'm going to go to the NHC, and I'm going to show you the wind swath here. Now, I've also got that as a graphic as well, but just easier to bring this up here. Here's the wind history. Look at how it's widening, and you can see the way that the hurricane force winds will basically cover almost the entire western portion of the island. Pretty intense storm. Rainfall potential, still looking at around 20 to 30 inches of rainfall in the central portion of the island. And there's a reason for that, because those are where the bands are going to be the strongest. Here's a look at the track. So you can see the way that track is moving northeast once it gets caught up from the upper level trough. And so a lot of things going on there. And again, we've got some residents, Northwest Arkansas, that are right now in Jamaica, if you can believe that. So we've got Christina Drake. We actually interviewed her earlier today.
Yep.
She is with One Love Outreach.
One Love Outreach.
One Love Outreach and missionary work, reaching out, helping people. I commend her. She's a little concerned about the storm. She's praying for the best,
Yep.
And so that's
with the Red Cross as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, it has been quite a hurricane season. But as far as landfalls are concerned, not much of a landfall. But yes, there have been 3 Cat 5s. That is fairly rare.
Yep.
It's starting to not be as rare.
Yeah.
With some of these storms really cranking up.
Another thing that's beginning, or at least not being as rare, is rapid intensification.
Yeah.
We've been seeing hurricanes. So if you don't know, rapid intensification is when a thunderstorm or a tropical system increases by 35 miles per hour winds in less than 24 hours. And we've seen that almost 1 in 3 storms do that in the Atlantic Basin, at least. So that's also something that's not becoming as rare as well. And that has something to do with the ocean heat constant, as well as just warm sea surface temperatures that these hurricanes fuel off of.
Oh, we got a new hurricane hunter.
Oh, wow.
So
just like that.
Let me go back here real quick. Hold on.
Another thing I wanted to touch on.
6 hours.
Rainfall. So it's a process called orographic lift. And that happens on very high slopes with mountains as well as rain bands. So if you take a look at rainfall again, if we could pull up that.
I will. Can I show the real before you do that? Because I got this graphic loaded.
Yeah.
I want to show you this. This is the hurricane hunter flight. Look at them ducking and dodging thunderstorms as they're coming into the eye wall. And so we're going to play this put this in animation. We're going to play this out, Davion. And you can see the way that this hurricane hunter starts to curve. And they do what's called a hourglass. What is the approximate? I think
it's an hourglass.
It's an hourglass, but I can't forget what they call it. Infinity or a figure 8 pattern or something like that. I think it's a figure 8.
Yeah.
So you can see the way that they fly through the eye wall. Look at that wind speed right there. When they drop the radio son, they have a 10-second wind gust of 189. Now they did drop it down to 175, as you saw, current sustained winds. But maybe the newest update will have a little bit more. Now they turn back to the east. Then they go again, fly through the eye wall, found the pressure to be 903. Then they come back around, do another one. You're going to see them make another pass. And then finally they're like, okay, wow, they did another pass. They're still flying through it.
Yeah, they're still flying.
Woo! I would hate to be on that flight.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, man.
You got to be a brave soul.
So I saw the video from Matthew.
Oh yeah.
He was throwing up.
Oh,
he had a barf bag, and he was doing an interview for a national newscast for a national television broadcast company, and they play the video of him vomiting in the bag as he's doing a live interview. And I was like, oh man, that's crazy. But this really is honestly the worst case scenario. I've said this before. I think this hurricane is going to be really, really devastating for Jamaica. I know there's going to be some places that will escape with less damage, like the eastern portion of the island, but even so, landslides, heavy rain, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Look at that, how many times they flew through.
Yeah, they're busy.
They're still going. So that's a current image right there.
How long has this mission been?
It's been 4 hours.
Wow.
Because look, they started flying. Well, really, they started flying. It looks like early afternoon. Let's go back 12 hours and let's see. So 12 hours, nothing. I'm gonna have to zoom out here a little bit, and we're gonna lose our recon, our tracking. Let's see when they took off here. Stand by. I'm adjusting this graphic in real time. There they are.
There they are.
So they took off about 3:30.
Wow.
There's their ping right there. And look, they took off from Looks like some of those islands, Willistad. Let me go back here. Delete that point. All right. Yeah, any comments at all that we need to address while I'm messing around with this live on the air? This is why we do this ahead of time, by the way. So there it is flying. Now watch them. I thought this was interesting. They fly through the eye, which is more laminar flow, but look, they actually went through those thunderstorms.
Oh yeah.
They're like
they did it on purpose too.
They did. Maybe they had that reporter on that flight, and that's why he was vomiting. Because they just wanted to fly through those storms. I don't know. Part of me really wants to experience this, but then part of me is like, okay, it might be like an amusement ride where you're getting pretty nervous.
An amusement ride that you can't get off until the mission's done. That's a long ride.
I'll tell you what. Shout out to the hurricane hunters, that's for sure. All right, let's take a look here. I'm personally not flying in that. It is massive. This is a massive storm.
Oh yeah.
USAF C-30. Yep, it's definitely the C-30s.
Oh yeah.
Because you can see the way that we've got that as the plane. See, I think if I tilt it, what can I do? Can you see it in 3 dimensions? That's kind of cool. Huh? Kind of really geeking out here. There's a hurricane hunter right there.
Nice.
Oh, it almost looks like the P3, but it's not. It's got that probe on the front.
Me personally,
that plane is not to scale. No, no, plane's not to scale. But if it was to scale, it'd be a little speck. You wouldn't even be able to see it.
Definitely.
All right, so back to this. I want to take a look here at. Again, we're going to look at the rainfall. That's what you wanted to look at, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay, so let's check this out. Yeah, I know, Daniel, there's a lot of talk. I'm sure people are already, can we just get through the hurricane first before we talk about La Nina? But yeah, a weak La Nina typically tends to bring some pretty active weather patterns as we transition into La Nina again. But it's not like an apples to apples kind of, you know, I mean, you can explain
you can have pretty extreme
variations
on both sides of La Nina as well as El Nino. So
yeah. In a weak La Nina, you can't really classify exactly what's going to happen. You just can't. It's impossible.
Yeah, it's hard to see out that far. Even with this hurricane season, I'm sure this has upped our numbers, but still, we were slightly less than what was projected
in terms of the average.
Yeah,
now, granted, they've been some big major hurricanes and stuff like that. What's going on here?
Right.
So we got a bunt. He caught it, and then he tried throwing them out. We're still in 12 innings. We're still in the.
I know they're tired. Here's what I wanted to look at though. So
okay,
if you guys didn't know the geography of Jamaica, I think the highest peak is closer to the eastern side.
Yep.
So when you get these rain bands that come in off the coast, they're smacking up against that mountain, and they have nowhere to go but up. So it's a process called orographic lift, and that happens when warm, moist air is rising. Obviously, warm, moist air rises, and it condenses and rises up the mountain, and then you get your precipitation. However, it kind of gets trapped there due to the I guess like the track of the storm. So there you got just rain slamming into the mountain, and those valleys and those creeks and streams, they swell pretty fast with a system like this, and that's just going to cause even more catastrophic damage. I think a lot of people focus on the wind speed with hurricanes.
Yeah,
I think the water is.
And we're not talking about storm surge. We're talking about pure rain.
This is pure rainfall.
The amount of rain that's going to fall from this. And look at all these outer bands here. So I want to show you this. We're going to put this into motion and look at all those outer bands. Now, some of that at times could be supercells, which can produce really heavy rain. Of course, you got the winds that are really impacting the western side of the island.
Yep.
But look at all that. And on top of that, too, Kingston, Jamaica, going to experience quite the storm surge.
Oh, yeah.
See how all those winds are flowing onshore? So all that water buildup on the eastern side of the eye is going to cause quite a storm surge. So what time is this moving in? Well, overnight tonight starts lifting northward and then makes a beeline for western side of the island, about, it looks 6 a.m. Now, here's the deal. The future track graph is typically too fast all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Now, landfall, this is something that a lot of people don't know. Landfall is not when the edge of the eye goes over land. It's when the center of the eye goes over land. Yeah.
And that looks to happen in the late morning to early afternoon hours.
At least I'm not talking about Kingston, Arkansas. That's right. Yeah, that's good.
Right, learn something new every day. I didn't know there was a Kingston, Arkansas.
Oh yeah, there sure is, and we got Laura Walden there. So one of our more loyal viewers that sends us photos and keeps us up to date with everything that's happening in Kingston, Arkansas. Praying for Jamaica, praying for Jamaica, Mom. Praying for all of the residents there, the Jamaicans.
Oh yeah,
the people that are there on missionary work. Man. Bad storm.
Yeah.
It's just
worst case
you
scenario.
just don't see stuff like that. Let's take a look at the water vapor too, you know?
Yeah.
I was gonna do that and look at that here. That's your show. I'm gonna load up real quick. We're gonna load up again, look at the infrared satellite. Oh, here's something I was gonna try to do. I don't know if I could do this on the fly. I'm gonna try, but typically we set this up ahead of time. I'm going to do what's called a sandwich, but I'm going to do the mesosector 1 sandwich, and then I'll have to adjust the time to do all that stuff. But in the meantime, Davion, let's go back through this infrared satellite just so we don't have something on a blank screen. So it's just such an impress. For those that are just joining, tell us on the latest on that.
Yeah, for those that are just joining, just an absolute textbook look to this hurricane. I said it earlier, when you look up what a hurricane is supposed to look like, this is a kind of image that you'll see. And notice those shades of white and pink are indicative of very cold cloud tops. And those thunderstorms are rising very high in the atmosphere. And that's why those cloud tops are cold. And that tells us that convection is very explosive, and it continues to be. I don't think I've seen a signature like this in quite a while with just a very strong hurricane like this. And it's starting to make that northeasterly jog towards the island of Jamaica, unfortunately. So you notice some of these outer rain bands have some very tall thunderstorms as well. So the winds are which compact into the eye wall of the storm, but you do have some heavy rain as well outside of just that area. And that's why that flooding threat exists, and it's just going to continue to exist. One of the comments says that thing is the Thanos of hurricanes, Brenda Wilson. That's funny.
Yeah, man.
Definitely. This is definitely a powerhouse of a storm, if you want to say.
The visible satellite, and it's just like you just see purple everywhere, pink and purple everywhere. I'm trying to do a sandwich. It's almost not even worth it because it just looks like a milky white infrared image. But that's a sandwich right there. So typically what you're seeing is the mesosector that comes on. Now, here's one thing I might be able to do. Maybe I can go into here. I can set up the GOES mesoscale here and do the IR with that. And then, of course, it always switches the color table. So we'll go back into here. We'll change the color table. Let's see if this will work. It's got to load the data. Okay, there it is. I mean, it's just,
my goodness.
Forget it, man. It's just massive.
Textbook signature.
See, it's loading up the mesosector data. I mean, that eye is just something else, man. The eye is just, look at that thing.
Clearing through and through. I saw a tweet earlier that said that there were birds that got stuck in the eye.
Yeah, they do that all the time, and they're not dumb.
Yeah,
those birds will fly around in the eye as long as the hurricane lasts, and they'll just kind of
follow it.
Oh, now that is good right there. All right, Josephine, you get that one right there. No, I'm not the sandwich artist like you are. That's hilarious. But that's called a visible infrared sandwich.
Yep.
Her sandwiches are much tastier, much better, and she can make them a lot faster.
Nice.
Got to hit the subway up. Every time I've gone to the subway, you haven't been there, Josephine. I don't know if you've heard how I've been asking for you. So But I appreciate you. But I did get some Sebastian sauce.
Nice.
Sebastian's still cranking away there. You taught him well. So I think we're still in extra innings here, 12th inning, and we're still going. But
wow,
what do you guys want to say? Oh, you know what? I do want to talk about our weather. Sure, we're not going to see hurricane force winds, but we are going to get some pretty strong winds.
Oh yeah,
not from Melissa.
Right.
Melissa's not going to be even a problem here. But we do have some pretty strong winds that are about to move in. Let's take a look here at some future radars because get ready for rain tomorrow morning, even some thunderstorms.
Especially in the river valley.
All right. You asked that. I'll get back to that. But let me just give you a quick update on our forecast. So here's what we've got for rain coming our way. Thunderstorms in the morning. Nothing severe, but definitely maybe I'm going to say this. This is a hot take here or a cold take. You ready for this, Davion?
Okay.
I think there could be some small pea-size hail tomorrow. Now, why do I say that? Because I think the cold temperatures aloft are stronger with this system as we transition from previous systems.
Okay, I could see it, especially down there in the river valley.
Yeah, in the river valley.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about severe hail, but I'm thinking some pea-size. Maybe half inch at the most, but I don't think that's going to get that high. But I could see some pea-size hail
I could see
initially. It won't be sleet, even though it's going to feel cool, especially with the rain. Remember, if you haven't known, what's the difference between sleet and hail?
Yes.
Here we go, Davion.
Yes. So sleet is actually wintry precipitation. Hail is actually from
can be in the winter.
Yeah, it can be in the winter.
Yeah.
But usually hail is formed when strong updrafts continue to take us. I guess you can call it a water droplet or a rain droplet.
Yeah, it's a rain droplet.
Throughout the thunderstorm, it shoots very high and it freezes. And then when it gets very heavy, it falls back down.
So here's something that I can tell you. Real easy comparison. Sleet in its production only falls once.
Right.
So it starts as a snowflake, melts into a raindrop, refreezes into a ball of ice.
Yep.
All that happens in one motion. Hail, however, up and down and sometimes being suspended as it collects super cooled water and all that stuff. So you can tell someone, okay, hail is something that rises and falls several times in its production. That's why you get the rings around the hail.
I was just about to say, have you ever seen the inside of it?
Oh, yeah. I have. And now that we're getting off on a tangent, you know I've got an explainer graphic for that, right?
Oh, yeah.
You know I do. Well, let's take a look at how hail forms. And so I got a graphic for you. How does hail develop? Well, then we'll get back to the forecast. But I still think this is a cold take with that hail production tomorrow. I would not be surprised to see some small pea-size hail in the river valley. Here's what we got. We get into the thunderstorm, just like what this shows. You got updrafts. And what these updrafts are doing is they're taking water droplets and it carries them up and down as they get in there. Well, there's a freezing level.
Yep.
And that freezing level is where you have super cooled water, sometimes even above the freezing level. And so as that goes up and down and up and down, it collects more and more super cooled water. And so there's the ring. So if you were to cut open a hailstone on the left side, you see what that looks like. And eventually, like you said, it gets heavy enough where the hailstone falls, such as right about there. So let's go back and look at that again and play the animation the entire time. So there's the updraft. There's that raindrop getting bigger and bigger. Then it start collecting super cooled water. And then finally, it falls. The stronger the thunderstorm with the amount of shear, the proper amount of shear, the larger the hail.
Oh, yeah.
There has to be sustained upper level winds. Wow. Toronto has bases loaded, 2 outs. Can they score?
Wow.
And if they can, game's not over because the Dodgers get their turn to tie it up in the bottom of the 12th.
Wow. What a game.
That's why we're doing this live. Thank you. Appreciate that. I didn't know the difference between sleet and hail until now. Yep. And look at Daniel Warren knows. So
Daniel knows.
Daniel's also talking about, a week-long Nino. We'll get more into that in a little bit more detail. But let's take a look back at the forecast here. So, foul ball. We got rain chances. There's the thunderstorms. I think late morning there could be a few thunderstorms in northwest Arkansas. The lightning will be dropping off as the warm, humid air starts to dissipate.
Yep.
Now check this out. You see that wind shift? Early afternoon. Get ready, man. Winds are cranking up. We're talking gusts over 25, even 30 miles per hour Wednesday. Tomorrow the winds are going to crank up. But then you'll see here Wednesday late morning, we get wraparound. So here's what happens. This low moves directly overhead. And when it does, we'll get at times what's called a dry slot.
Yep.
I said clear slot, and then I corrected myself pretty quickly because clear slot is supercells. Yep. See, I love it, man. Dude's got a master's degree, so he knows this stuff about weather. You can quiz me too, man. You can quiz me and see if I know my stuff. But there's the rain that's popping up, and this is a out. Darn it. They couldn't get it.
Wow.
We're going to 13 innings. So anyways, there's what we got for rain. This has been a good game, though. There's the northwest winds that really start to crank. And by the way, that's going to be chilly. Yeah. Wind chills around 40. Ooh. And then look at this wind right here. The wind gets even stronger Wednesday morning into the early afternoon. In fact, I'll show you some wind gusts here. We've got the zoomed in view of the gusts. And I'm going to go off the graph because I do think the HRRR
a little bullish
is too strong on these winds. Let's take a look at the graph here. We're going to do this on a different computer. This is why we got the two computers. This is why we got the setup. Here's what we've got. So winds are out of the south. They'll be pretty calm during the late morning into the afternoon while that rain and thunderstorm activity is falling. But then right during the early afternoon, man, you're going to feel this front. And when this front comes in, it is going to smack you in the face.
Oh, yeah. Wind shift and they get strong. Look at that. 30 plus.
I believe that. Now, here's where the real wind comes in. Wednesday morning.
Man. 30, 35.
Uh-oh. Speaking of that, I got to update weather rate. Keep talking because I gotta do that because we're getting close to I usually do at the end of the 10. We're almost to midnight, man.
But those winds are going to come in out of the northwest, and they're going to help cool us off as well once this low pressure system moves past our area. And that's why in our 7-day forecast, you'll see we do actually have some very cool mornings. We actually have some, maybe we'll see some frost as we get into Thursday morning, Friday morning.
We also added someone to the 7-day forecast.
Too. Yeah. We added Windy
Willie. Who did we add?
We added Windy Willie.
Windy Willie, man.
To the 7-day forecast.
Windy Willie made a comeback.
He's going to come in and blow those wind gusts as high as 30 plus.
I got to anchor down the Halloween decorations, the blow-ups, man. They're going to get blown around.
Oh, yeah. So the trash can forecast at 30, what do we put that as?
That's not down the street, but that's in the neighbor's yard.
Yep. Neighbor's yard.
We'll put that on there. So here's my question. Are we going to be breezy tomorrow? We got to have 6 hours of 20 miles per hour or stronger. And it's going to be right at about 6 hours. But if it drops off just one, I'm in trouble. I think I'm going to go with it.
Yeah, I think you go.
I'm going with it. I think I'm going windy. I think we're going to go with rain overnight Tuesday into Wednesday. We're definitely going windy for Tuesday night. Oh, yeah. There's no doubt about that. Tomorrow night. Windy on Wednesday. You better believe it.
Better believe it.
Does it still remain windy on Wednesday? Let's see. Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's some wicked winds. Look at that.
Almost 40. So maybe the HRRR was hinting at something.
Yeah.
Still went a little overboard. HRRR was showing wind gusts as high as 50.
We'll show it, too. I'll show it. You want to see it?
Yeah.
Let's take a look here. HRRR.
Out of the northwest too, so wind chills 40. Definitely going to want those jackets for the morning commutes and throughout the day, especially with the rain showers coming in.
Well, maybe Here we go.
Wendy Williams only.
What?
So Josephine said Wendy Williams.
Wendy Williams. No. Yeah, Wendy Williams. Wendy Willie.
Wendy Willie.
Okay, we'll get that on there. So 50-37.
Yeah,
we got to go with rain on Wednesday. We got windy and rainy. Then we got 57-34.
That's a lot of purple showing 50. Yeah, I don't know if we buy that much, but it's going to be windy nonetheless. So nothing severe, just just a fall soaker. We're not expecting anything severe in terms of storm. Maybe some pea-sized hail, especially in the river valleys throughout your morning commute. But
he's doubting me. No. He's like, I don't think you watch Davion. Bet you'll be some pea-sized hail reports.
I believe it. I believe it. But yeah, definitely going to be some pea-sized hail. I don't think we see anything severe though. Nothing severe. Definitely just your classic fall soaker. What we've been seeing over the past couple of Saturdays. You guys don't know, I moved here on Friday of last week, and my first Saturday was a complete wash. In fact, Dan, you were live my first Saturday morning with Josh Rugger doing severe weather coverage.
I know, it was crazy.
They're like, "Man, you got to check out Dixon Street on Saturday." Well,
yeah,
I tried, and then again this weekend.
Dixon was a mess. So for those that are not going to stay up for the newscast, no, I have to actually. I've got thankfully it's only a half-hour long newscast.
Right.
And Davion, thanks for being here. By the way, you're gonna have to cut out early tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Like, I forgot I could send you home, but hey, we're doing a live, and then we'll definitely cut those hours down tomorrow. But take a look at this. What we got. Our 7-day forecast. First of all, Windy Willie on there for Tuesday night into Wednesday morning. So some strong winds. You got temperatures dropping. Look at the morning lows on Thursday and Friday morning, mid to lower 30s. So we got some chilly weather that's happening.
Oh, yeah.
Saturday afternoon, 37. And then as we go into the rest of the weekend, maybe a slight chance of rain on Saturday, as you mentioned. Daylight saving time coming to an end. And 69 on Monday. And then morning lows in the mid 40s. So we'll start to climb back up. A lot of people says daylight savings time. It's singular, daylight saving time.
Yep. So
don't let anybody tell you different, man. Nobody's saying daylight savings. You tell them savings, you say, nope, Dan tells me it's saving. Really, it's not just me, it's what it is.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you. Hey, Dante.
Hey. What's going on, older brother? How you doing?
I'm working them like crazy, man. I'm just kidding. All right, so let's take a look at, again, they wanted to know the latest on the track. So we do want to show that, the latest information from the National Hurricane Center. If you're still on here, sorry, it's been a little while since we got back to this, but here we go. Oh, what a play. Man, there are some good plays in this game. Too bad it's almost midnight.
I know, right?
Category 5, 175 miles per hour for the winds. Yep. I told them about the Zach Gilday push-ups if you're saying miles an hour.
Oh, yeah.
Or mile per hour.
Yep.
You can say mile per hour winds.
Yep.
That's okay. But if you're saying wind gusts up to, then you got to be miles per hour.
Yep.
I know, grammar police. And I'm like the worst when I'm typing out stuff. There it is, 175. I think personally the 1 a.m. update, it's going to be even stronger.
Yeah, maybe 180.
Look at how the eye now is shifting northward. So hit spacebar for me real quick. There we go. And I can zoom in. Look at that. So there it is, that northerly jog taking place.
Ever so slowly. Jogging at 2 miles per hour.
Okay, here's a good question from Danielle Warren. Dante Laurel Huggins, are you and Davion from North Carolina? I know that's where Davion moved from.
Yep. We both are. That's my older brother.
Yep.
Yeah, we were born in New York, but raised in Charlotte, North Carolina most of our lives.
Now, Melissa is going way slow, like really, really slow. Yeah. But Melissa is going to pick up forward speed. I think by tomorrow afternoon, it'll start moving a lot faster. And the reason for that is that it gets absorbed by the upper level trough. The same one that's coming in here, kicking some butt in our area and causing us to, let's just say, have some winds crank up.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, I'll show you exactly what we've got. And Daniel says, I have family in Wilmington area.
Nice.
Yeah.
I got a few people that
See
I know
that?
in Wilmington. Small world.
Got some peeps around here, man. So here's a look at, again, that upper level storm system. And you can see the way that upper level trough is digging. So that's going to take, and see the trough that's coming through Miami too. I've got to actually zoom out on this. Oops. Close this out. This is the longest game in history.
End of the 12th, and they're still playing.
Oh, my goodness. All right. I'm going to get back into this. We're going to zoom out a little bit. Ooh, that's quite a bit. But here you go. Now you get to see the vorticity and spin. There we go. Zoom out here a little bit. And now you'll get to see why this storm system is going to get picked up. So there's the spin. Remember when we were showing, I do want to show this. Remember how we show like how the vorticity and the spin is basically really strong? That shows you it's absolutely off the charts.
Yeah,
but when we got a system that's that strong, it doesn't mean that it creates hurricane. But look at this. There's a lot of spin in that thing too.
Oh, yeah.
That's organizing. And a lot of vorticity. So there's going to be, which is why I think maybe some thunderstorms tomorrow when this system starts digging in.
Yep. Yeah, really deep.
In the morning hours. Yep. And look, there's some areas that have that really strong spin too. Now, granted, that has absolutely nothing in comparison to this monster.
Right.
Man, Melissa's mean. Melissa's angry.
Yeah.
I used to have a coworker that worked with me named Melissa. Melissa Hall, oddly enough. Wow. That was her last name. Another Hall. But she was she's probably commenting and posting on social media about how she's tearing up stuff.
Get a hurricane named after her.
A little bit of a feisty one for sure.
There it goes.
There you can see. Look at it getting absorbed and getting picked up by that system. I also have a family member by the name of Melissa Scoff.
Nice.
And she's in the Ohio area.
Okay.
And so a cousin that's more tame, you know, pretty reserved.
Yeah.
Not necessarily. Wow. Shout out to y'all watching from Jamaica. I know. There's a lot of Halls out there, aren't there? I guess if you have the last name Hall, you're about to be a meteorologist or cover the weather on social media. So
yeah, no choice.
Yeah, exactly. You're destined to do that. So the next update coming out at 1 a.m., probably by the end of this World Series game, probably will be the longest game in history. So I really don't have anything else to add except we just got some really, really nasty stuff that's brewing with Melissa. Again, Melissa's going to be making landfall tomorrow late morning or in 5 minutes today.
Yeah. Yep. Later on. Yeah, in 5 minutes later on today.
Yeah.
In Charlotte, huh? That means we got another Carolina Panthers fan in Arkansas.
No, none of them are related. That's the odd part about it. There's Alex Hall, too. Yeah, you got Alex Hall. Okay, you already said it on there. Glad it's not Karen, I know. There was Karen. Karen, yeah.
He was very extra. He was like subtropical.
Yeah,
she
complained way too much. So I don't think there'll be more damage than Katrina. Katrina covered such a large area.
Yeah.
And the infrastructure was a lot more built up.
Right.
I think for localized, that Jamaica will, for a country, this will be the worst hurricane in the entire history of the country.
Oh, yeah.
This will be really bad. But like I said, if you want to watch that interview, they are being resilient. They are doing things to try to, mitigate the damage. They're praying for the worst and praying for the best. And what is the saying again? I'm so tired now.
It's been a long day.
What is it?
Prepared for the worst, but praying for the best.
Preparing for the worst, hoping for the best. That's what it is. You're not never be praying for the worst.
Yeah.
You know, it is a good question. It's in miles, so it's definitely not in feet. It's in miles, but let's take a look. We can dive in there and we can look at this. So let's do that. According to this, how wide is the eye? We can also get the information too from Hurricane Hunter. So it looks like the eye is approximately about 15 nautical miles. So let me show you right here. 15 miles, and if we look at the National Hurricane Center, they'll tell us how wide the eye is. And typically they do that in the public evaluation. The National Hurricane Center website's going nuts too.
Yeah, there's a lot of people waiting for
the new
that
discussion
1 a.m. update. Yep.
Let's see here.
Do airplanes really fly into the eye?
Yeah.
A special airplane, but yes, hurricane hunters are probably still on their mission that we looked at earlier. It looked like they were getting ready for another pass through. That was around the time we first started the live.
Yeah, the discussion, 10 nautical miles in diameter.
Wow.
That's keep in mind that's a little bit off because that's not quite as accurate. I do want to do something, Davion. I think we got enough people on here. I want to make a long loop of how this storm evolved over time.
Okay.
I've already got a pre-built graphic. I just got to change some of the information around.
Okay.
I'm going to slide over here. You go ahead and take away. And man, as soon as you're done, and as soon as I'm done with this, we'll all cut loose.
Nice.
Yeah.
Preparing for the worst and expect the worst not to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
This will be a cool graphic. Just let me make it here.
Okay. Bigger the eye, the more powerful. Actually, typically it's actually the reverse of that. Usually the smaller and compact the eye is, the stronger the system is. That's why we've had trying to think of a good example. Milton from last year had a very small eye at one point when it blew up into that Category 5 monster in the Gulf. Usually the more compact a hurricane is, it's easier to fight off wind shear because it's not being wrapped around or influenced a lot by it. So the smaller the eye, usually we see the stronger hurricane. Now, those winds with a small eye typically don't extend out. The strongest winds, that is, typically don't extend out far from the eye or from the eye wall. But once that hurricane starts to grow in size, that wind field grows in size as well. So that's another thing that's, I guess, I don't want to say being overlooked because the main headline is landfall. But as the system moves past Jamaica and it gets over towards Cuba and the Bahamas, it's not going to look as symmetrical and textbook as it looks right now. And when that happens, that wind field will start to expand as the storm's, like, I guess, structure will be, it'll be damaged, you can say. It won't be that perfect looking storm, and that wind field is going to increase. So from there, we'll start to have tropical storm and hurricane force winds extend out further from the eye, but they'll be slightly weaker, if that makes sense. So I can just stand in the middle and be cool. Heard that. Well, you got to get to the middle first. You got to pass through both sides. So once the eye comes around, got to get out the other side. Does eye dryness play a factor in intensity? That's a good question. Do you know?
Absolutely. With the dry? Yeah, dry air will really impact our hurricane massively.
That water vapor imagery that we show, there's really no dry air working on this system. And that's honestly why it's been able to not only blow up, but sustain itself for so long.
See, I told you I already had the template built. You ready for some action?
Oh, yeah.
This is a cool graphic. Prepare to be amazed, guys. We've got Melissa's timeline back on October 21st, 7 days ago.
Wow.
Tropical wave, Melissa, not even a hurricane. Now watch what happens over time here. It becomes a tropical storm.
Look at the wind shear on that.
I know. See the wind shear?
The whole left side is gone.
It's basically all on the left side. Now watch. I'm kind of slowly animating this. Now look at how it does an about face. See how it backed up?
It blows up too.
And then it blows up. Then it's like, okay, I got enough energy. I'm going to start moving west at 1 mile per hour.
1 mile.
1 mile per hour. Look at this. Then it took a weird, crazy track. Then it started to jog back down to the south. Then it goes back to the west. In the meantime, Jamaica's like, what in the world is this storm doing?
Right.
And look, it's bouncing around. Now look at all the thunderstorms that are kind of forming around. We still have a tropical storm at this point. Friday, just a few days ago. Look at how it's backing up, moving back to the east instead of west, the east to west. Now we're moving along here.
Yeah, this storm is very indecisive.
Starts going back. There's just absolutely no steering currents at all. And then watch, this is where the rapid intensification comes. Now, one thing I'll tell you is with rapid intensification, what I've noticed, Davion, is that when you get the zippering effect of the convection spiraling around the center, which is what you're about to see, that is what causes the rapid intensification.
And right after that eye wall is very clear to see.
Yep. And so I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so you can see. Oh, the Dodgers had a big-time base hit, leadoff double. That's problems. So we may be having a newscast here real soon. Look at that. A little bit of a bad satellite imagery right there. But now we're at Category 1. Here comes the zippering.
Yep.
There it is. There it is, the spiraling.
Cat 2.
I'm going back just to show you. There's the spiraling of the convection. Cat 2. Here comes another spiraling of the convection.
Cat 3.
And now we're starting to see explosive thunderstorm development again right here.
And then that eye just...
Yep, and the eye is just clearly defined. Now, watch this as more. You can tell the thunderstorms are still erupting. Look at that.
Those shades of pink.
Cold cloud tops, man. Negative 80 degrees Celsius.
That's way up there.
Yeah, that is some cold stuff. And then look,
the latest run.
It just kind of spreads out. So there you go. Let's put that into motion, make it nice and smooth, and see what we got.
Wind shear, la da la da la.
Look at the path.
East, west,
south. North, south, east, west. I gotta post that on social media, huh? What a crazy storm.
Yeah, she was very indecisive. And then she got her act together. Just a lot of convection. It was just never around the center.
Yeah.
And then he gets his act together very soon.
Right here, Saturday morning.
Yep,
boom,
right
there's the zippering, there's the spiraling, and then there's,
and boom.
No.
Stationary.
This is definitely not a typical movement for a hurricane. Look, once it's done playing the animation, I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to show you the track. It was nuts. They could do a walk-off. Oh. Did he get hit? No. Okay. So here's the deal. This game's almost over. All they have to do is get a sacrifice fly ball. And it's a walk-off sac fly. Yeah. I know, no kidding. Is there a military cadence? Left. Kind of is.
Right.
I'll show you here. So it is. Left. Here, we'll bring this. Take the camera off the screen. Look at that. Left. And then it starts going right, left. Here, I'll move it around here. Wow, that's the beginning of the storm. We can't go back that far. We can show the track, but we can't go back that far.
Very low latitude.
Look at that. Then this is where it started going bonkers.
Kindergarten scribble.
So you got left, right, left. Yeah, it is kind of like the military cadence.
And then
Who knows what it did there? And it kind of spins out over here, and now you can see it has started to do that. Looks like it might have jogged back down to the southwest again. There'll be little jogs and stuff, but yeah, that's whoa. There we go. Position over Melissa. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm gonna shut it down here. I think we're done. I think I'm done too. Now I got to do a newscast.
Yeah.
There's a pop-up. That's clutch. I don't really want this to go to extra innings. Well, it's already extra innings. I don't want it to go to more extra innings. So the eye is the calm part. You know, I think we got a graphic for that too. Let's see. Maybe I do. This one I might not have a graphic for. Yeah, we might not have this.
She said, "Wobble, baby."
Wobble, baby, wobble, baby, wobble, baby. Get in there. Yeah. You can back it up. Hey, big girl. Back it up. All right. So this is a close game. I better get ready because I have a feeling they're going to score here.
Yeah.
I'm predicting it.
Coming close
2
to
outs. The intentional walked again. Bases loaded for Freddie Freeman.
They're calling it.
Oh, does a plane fly through these hurricanes? They absolutely do. And hurricane hunters, I'll show you the very latest mission here.
That they're probably still on.
Yeah, we'll find out if they're still on. You see them flying around in it?
Oh yeah.
That's currently. They're back. They're going back home.
Yeah, they're heading home.
Here's the path again. I'll show you. We'll start it right about here. Their second pass through the eye wall. Figure 8. Lots of figure 8s, and then now they're headed back home. How many times did they pass through that eye wall?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Uh-oh. Caught it.
Oh, wow. End of the 13th.
Happy Tuesday, everyone. It is midnight. Yeah. Great.
You guys might not be going live till like,
man, I got to let you go.
1 o'clock.
All right. We got to head out. Nobody wants to win this baseball game. I know,
right?
Josh Rugger's still on here. Any last questions before we shut her down? Actually daylight in London.
Good morning, Dan and Davion.
Yeah, you did. Right. You spelled it right. Yep.
Good morning is hilarious.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see if there's an error on a pop-up, though. Ooh, probably not. Hopefully not. Okay, guys, I got to go. Good night. Boy, I could really go for a Subway sandwich right now, Josephine. But I got to run. Take care. God bless. Thanks for watching. And we'll keep you updated, man. Prayers. Lots of prayers for Jamaica.
Lots of prayers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He likes Baja Blast, Josh, just to let you know. All right. We finished that out. Baja Blast Freezy is the way to go. Could go for one right now, as a matter of fact. All right. We'll see you guys. Bye.